morning, Dan.
Hi, Heather. How you doing?
I'm well. It's Friday morning. We're recording. Well, are we allowed to say it's Friday morning? We're recording this.
We can say it's Friday morning.
Okay, we're recording this in advance for our bonus episode.
Yep. So I've done a few things since our last bonus episode.
I believe you went to the circus. There's no animals involved anymore.
There was a horse.
There was a horse. Okay,
there was a horse.
Any dogs or cats? Because they're also domestic.
No, not anymore.
No?
Not anymore.
Okay.
Well, not this year at least. I have to say, Sirkus Finlandia, this year they are not based in their usual location. They are tucked out on the corner of the football pitches over in Makalankatu 72.
Yeah, Capula.
The first half of the show was what I would say is disappointing.
Oh.
I don't consider a drone show to be a circus act.
Okay, but so I was just reading an article about a rock concert that someone had went to, and there was a drone show as part of that. So maybe
That's
drones...
a bit different, though.
Is it? I mean, a circus is entertainment. A rock concert is entertainment. I think drones are modern entertainment. That's where I see them. But I understand if you go to the circus, you're probably wanting more comedy. Were they funny drones?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
What were they doing?
Just changing coloured lights and moving around.
Okay. Inside a tent, you are a little bit constricted because they can't go so far and do so much, I'm guessing.
The thing is, it was all pre-programmed, so there was no chance of a slip-up or anything, so it was a pretty drab show, if I'm honest.
Okay.
I have to say, when I go to the circus, yes, I want to be entertained. But for me, there's two types of circus acts. There are those people who have worked really hard to become good at something.
Yes.
And there are those people who do something that nobody else can do.
Okay, yeah.
And often they cross over.
Yes, yep.
But I have to say, there was a lack of talent.
Oh.
There was one guy with his laser show that just pretended to push lasers around with a flashy jacket, light lit up jacket on in the dark. And that was, it was like watching a crap DJ.
Can't say I've ever watched a crap DJ, but yeah, all right.
I'll invite you to one of my shows.
All right. Okay, don't sell yourself short.
There was no acrobatics.
I mean, that's cool when you say acrobatics.
Yeah. I mean, the best thing for me was a guy who, it was sort of a second clown. They have the standard clown, which is the one I've always seen at Sirkus Finlandia every time I've gone. And then there was a guy who I assume was either Italian or Spanish, had a pink suit on, and he did a little bit of juggling. He played some instruments, and he had talent and had worked on what he had.
Right, yeah.
There was a little bit of, it wasn't tightrope walking, but they created this massive metal device which turned. There were three people doing a sort of spacewalk act on that.
Okay, that sounds cool.
It was interesting, but went on a bit too long. When people do the same thing for the third time, it gets a little bit repetitive, especially when you've got a 4-year-old with you.
Okay, yes.
But the place was busy, which is good to see because, the circus and things like that do need the support.
Did they have lots of, I mean, the last time I went to the circus, it had like a sort of sideshow alley on the side. So the games and the spruikers and, come and pull no, none of that. So
no, not really. They had a couple of people dressed up in furry big human outfits, but they were just standing taking pictures with people. There wasn't really any show going on.
Okay.
Yeah, it was okay. It was okay. I think the best thing for me is always the Sirkus Finlandia have a big music box thing outside that plays, they have the little wooden men playing the cymbal and the pipe organ type thing.
Yep, I know what you mean.
And I always like those. I'm very old-fashioned in my in my likes. But yeah, it was okay. I'm not a big circus person.
To be honest, the last time I went to a circus was when animals were still allowed. So that's sort of like that's a long time.
That's 15 years or so, isn't it?
Exactly. Yes. So it's been a while. Yeah. Maybe I should go again.
Anyway, let's move on from the circus. I've also been to the summer cabin. I've done the male bonding for this year.
How was the summer cabin? I can imagine that there is sauna, there is sausage, there is beer, I'm imagining.
Yes, a lot more than beer, but yes, beer was the dominant force of this
I
trip.
was trying to think of another S word, but I couldn't think of an S word that would fit a male bonding.
Well, maybe I'm a little bit in the dark because I don't go to summer cabins that often anymore, but they have these little devices these days which you can turn a shower hose and head into a shower with this little sort of semicircular device which you put in the bucket and it pumps the water through, so you can have a shower where there isn't a shower.
Okay,
which was very
sense.
cool. After a sauna, I have to have a shower. I can't just sit in my own filth for the next 24 hours.
Okay, that's quite nice. And I've seen other types which are actually like foot pumps.
I didn't even have to put in the work. These ones just get charged up and you stick them in a bucket.
Okay, nice. I have to investigate this. Yes.
But yeah, I mean, I know it's outside of Helsinki, but I also visited Hämeenlinna Castle for the second time. I didn't know it was the second time until I went in and thought, this is very familiar.
I have to ask, did you use your museum card to get in?
Of course I did.
Excellent. Well done.
And right next door to Hämeenlinna Castle is the Finnish Artillery Museum.
Yeah, there's a nice, it's not a tank, it's like a gun, from memory, sitting outside, isn't there?
There's many of them. There's there's about 60 or 70 different types of field guns and anti-aircraft guns and everything else.
Inside or outside?
Outside. But there's some inside as well. Right. But they have a huge yard where everything. Strangely, we were working out the orientation of all these guns, and they're pointed towards Russia. I don't know if that's intentional or just because it's the banks of the river. But
interesting. Dare I ask, museum card as well?
Of course, yes. Well, the guys wanted to go to the Tank Museum, but after reading the very poor reviews of the Tank Museum in Hämeenlinna and realising that they were going to charge us to get in no museum card entry, we decided that wasn't an option.
But sometimes the bad reviews are the reason to go, because you can't believe that the reviews can really be so bad.
Most of them were. The price-quality ratio was very poor.
Okay.
And when reviews are like that, then, that's normally a reason not to go. Yes, I understand your comedy reviews. We were talking about that yesterday. And I've left several on Google for people. How about you? What have you been up to in the last 10 days or so?
Oh, we went to the Mökki last week, and nothing big or major. Have I told you about my jigsaw project?
Jigsaw project? Are we talking power tools or 1,000 pieces? No,
we're talking 1,000 pieces. Do you know Welcome to Finland, the company that Come to Finland? That's Come to Finland. They do travel posters and postcards and stuff using old travel posters.
Okay, right.
So it's a whole brand these days, and they're pictures from mostly turn of the century to the 50s, but then in recent years they've also employed contemporary artists to make posters. So I did a jigsaw, which is a picture of a person swimming in an ice hole in the middle of the forest, and there's a little sauna off to the side, and it's sauna and sissel since 1917. So obviously it was done for the 100th year anniversary of our independence. Very nice jigsaw, really frustrating because I had no idea there were actually so many shades of green and white and black. So yes, it took me, like the easy part was very easy, but the rest, it took me some months. And now we've decided that it would be nice to actually frame the jigsaw. So I have found some jigsaw glue. And when we do Malmi, which is at some time in the future, we have to do it on a day when the jigsaw shop is open, because I want to take you to the jigsaw shop. But I have some glue and some instructions about how to glue my jigsaw fixed, and then after a short 3 hours, it's ready to do whatever you want. So I'm going to frame it. That's the plan.
I think my mum would probably be a better person to take to the jigsaw shop than me. But
okay, when's mum coming to Finland next? She doesn't listen to this, does she? So I can't even say hi.
Oh, no, she doesn't do anything with modern technology. A video call is about the limit of her technology
That's very modern.
Yeah, well, I'm off to a gig tonight. I'm off to see a UK post-punk band called Shame, who are playing in Korjaamo tonight.
Okay,
Yeah,
nice.
so I'm excited. It's the first time I've paid for a gig in quite a long time.
Okay. All right, get your money's worth.
I will.
Yes.
I haven't even listened to the support band, but I do always try and get there early enough for the support band as well, in case you're witnessing the future of music, you know.
You never know.
So there's that. What I wanted to talk about, though, in terms of Finland, is name days, because my daughter's name day is next Tuesday, and this is something we've never covered.
No, and actually, my son's name day, there's a couple, but sort of is today as well. So, yeah, let's talk name days. Why not?
Obviously, this is something we don't have in the UK. I don't believe you have it in Australia either.
No.
It's fascinating what people do on name days, because as much as they're nice and everything, I don't see the point. I actually wanted to name my children the name that they were born on the day of originally. I thought that would have been quite cool.
Okay, but then you only get one cake. And which cake is it? Is
that what you're meant to do on a name day? Is it a cake day?
It's kind of a cake day, and especially for, I think, at least when our son was younger, it was celebrated with a cake, definitely. And that was, my mother-in-law helped instill that tradition. But you can give flowers, you can take candy to the office, that sort of stuff. But for young kids, it's usually a cake.
Okay.
And
now,
my husband is actually, every now and again, his name day pops up.
Once a year, probably.
Once a year. It's fairly close to his birthday. And he's always like, where's my cake? No, your birthday's coming. You get a cake for your birthday. But certainly, I think a lot of people, I don't know if they expect a cake, but they certainly like a cake on their name day.
You see, you've now touched on another thing that I've always been a bit sore about, is birthdays and name days, etc. You're expected to take something into work to celebrate your own celebration.
True.
I find wholly bizarre. I mean, when I worked at Postie, for example, they used to, if it was a 50th, then the company would get you cakes and stuff to celebrate. But other than that, I always kept quiet about my birthday because I didn't want to have to spend €50 on a couple of cakes for everyone I worked with.
Anytime someone goes on a holiday, there's always some sort of candy appears in the break room. Like, I've just come back from Greece and this is what they're eating in Greece.
Well, that's a bit different though, isn't it? Because that's your sort of, it relieves some of the jealousy of seeing everybody go on holiday every day.
Actually, I don't feel jealous for people going on holiday. I wish them a happy trip, but I know that eventually I'll get my holiday. So I don't know that. I think after a certain point in time, we stop wishing it was us going.
It does start like that, though, I assume. When you first start
a little bit, when you look at people's tickets and they're going to like nice warm place, especially in the middle of winter, and you look at the ticket and they're going somewhere nice and warm.
Oh, Barbados or something like that,
Exactly. Let's come back to cake days, name days and birthdays. Our office, the airport office, I call it the office, we tend to do stuff for birthdays, but not necessarily name days.
It's a nice little quirk. I don't know. I've got them all in my calendars for my kids, so I do send a message every name day. And to be fair, this year, my daughter's going to be popping in for about 3 minutes to pick up some stuff and have a form signed because she's going to Italy tomorrow. So
actually, I've just opened Hessely every day. Tell us the name day. Today's also a flag day. We should cover flag days at some stage.
I hadn't even noticed this morning. Normally, when I take my son to daycare in the mornings, he goes, "What flag day is it, Daddy?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I'll check."
It's Alexis Kivi päivä.
Yes, it is. I actually knew this one.
Päivä. Suomalaisen kirjallisuuden päivä, Finnish Literature Day. But the names today are Alexis in Finnish, Alexis in Swedish, and the Orthodox calendar doesn't have a name day for today.
I normally wait until Pikkukakkonen because it does the name days on there every day.
Does it? Okay.
So when I'm watching it with my 4-year-old, he's going, "Oh, it's so-and-so's birthday today." And I always point out, yes, but you've just come home from daycare, so you're not going to see them anymore. So it's a bit bloody late.
Tell them tomorrow. Happy name day. Yes.
We've got lots of stuff coming up. Obviously, our next episode is going to be Etutöllä, which we did yesterday. Yeah, it was. I mean, I think our takeaway from that is we need to do a bit less planning and a bit more random exploring in places.
Yes, exactly.
So, yes, we've got that coming up next time. And I think that's it for now.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Well, thanks, Heather.
Thanks, Dan.
We will be back in a week with a proper full-length episode showing you around the bits of Etterderla we managed to get to. Heather was late.
She was, yes. All right.
Thanks, Heather.
Thanks, Dan.